I was a sophomore in high school back in 1969. Bethel High School was a brand new school, and Koz was the assistant football coach and one of the English teachers, if I remember correctly. I was too small to play football. Koz used to send some of the guys into Russell or the wrestling room, and every once in a while he'd send a kid that needed to lose a little weight in to work with me or something of that nature. I wrestled and got to know him pretty well through that. I think that Koz is a guy that really emphasizes the basics. He's real good about encouraging people to rise to their level. He's real good about trying to get each individual to get the most out of his or her own abilities. And you know, as everybody knows, he's coached a lot of football, but he coached a lot of track as well, girls and boys track. He knows the mechanics, he knows biomechanics. I think he knows the physics of what is required for a sport. So he'll take a kid that's got some natural ability, but he'll get the most out of that ability, both from a teaching perspective as well as psychologically. He still, when called upon to do so, will coach kids if they ask him to do it for purposes of picking up speed and that kind of thing. I know he's done a lot of that in the Pocosin community since he retired. Koz is probably, again, most proud of how many kids that have turned out better than they might have, but for the fact that they played football for him, learned some things about team unity, and some things about seeking a goal and obtaining that goal. Whether it happened to be a year for which they won a state championship, in track or football for that matter, or a year for which they had a winning record. You know, I don't think Koz had too many losing records when he was coaching. Koz is a guy that, in some respects, likes to live in the past. You know, he really enjoys talking about old war stories and how kids matured and how kids have accomplished things. But at the same time, he's always interested in what's going on in your life, and he wants to tell you how he did with that round of golf yesterday. So, you know, all of his life, I think, is still pretty much bound up in sports in some form or fashion. But he might just as likely tell you about a kid that he was helping to train a couple months ago that he thinks is going to be a great player that's 14 years old. So Koz is still in a position where he really enjoys working with young people. And I think most of the time he'll tell you that, you know, oftentimes that's really what life's all about, is trying to help the next generation do better than what we've done.